Hi YouTube. My name is Frank, and I'm making these video series mostly to walk through the process of subcontracting your own home. To kind of give you a little bit of a background, I live in South Mississippi in the Biloxi Gulfport area, and my wife and I decided about 2 years ago that we needed to buy a new home. So we started looking around in our area where the housing market is fairly good to try to find a house that really was conducive to what we were trying to do. Primarily entertain. So we're a family of three. We have one 13-year-old. And the house that we're in now is about 1,475 square feet under air. It's the first house that we bought when we got married 13 years ago, and we've been here ever since. We've done a little bit of modification to the house, but not a lot. But the floor plan really just doesn't help us out where we are in our current stage of life, which is really trying to entertain a little bit and kind of open up the house. So we started looking for houses in our area to try to kind of fit that need. And unfortunately, we weren't able to find anything in an area that we liked or price range that we liked. So we decided that it was best that we build. So we started looking for land, and that became a little bit more difficult than we thought. But we did find a piece that is out by some of my wife's family, and it's right in the middle of them. It's 3 acres. It was perfect. So we went on and bought the land in the summer of last year. And then there's the thought of, how are we going to build? Are we going to get a general contractor, which is the route that we originally were going to take? But then we started looking into it, realizing that, hey, general contractors charge you sometimes 20, 30, 40% just for their fees. So we thought that it was probably best that we can take that and reinvest it back into the house if we can subcontract it. So I took to YouTube, where most everything nowadays is out there, with the exception of subcontracting your house. So there's a lot of videos out there by a lot of good YouTubers that show you what they did to subcontract, but they really don't take you through the process from cradle to grave. They really kind of do a recap, or they kind of do a video in the middle of a process, but nothing from the beginning. And one of the things that we really wanted to kind of understand was, what do you do once you sell your house? What are some of the options out there for you? Is it best to finance 2 mortgages if you want to? How to shop loans around? Now, my wife's a banker, and so she had a lot of inside information in regards to construction loans and mortgages. But on the flip side of that, every person's I guess situation is a little unique. And so when we started looking into what are some of the options out there, YouTube really didn't have the answers for us. So we decided to do this video, and these videos will really kind of show you what we've decided to do every step of the way. So to kind of give you a little bit of background of where we are now, I told you already that we purchased the land in the summer of last year, and it was primarily cleared about 2 years ago by the owner. Well, it's overgrown now, and so it needs to be bush hogged, and the trees and the debris that was cut down unfortunately wasn't burned and buried. So there were piles out there that still need to be taken care of, and so it needs to be bush hogged, burned and buried, scraped, and then we need to shoot the elevation of the land so we know how much dirt we need to bring in for both the land and the structure foundation. Well, the problem is, in South Mississippi, this has been uncharacteristically a wet winter. So when we decided to start doing the clearing or the bush hogging, it's rained nearly every week, and the ground is just absolutely saturated. So we haven't been able to get that done. We think hopefully by the end of this week, or maybe the beginning of next week, and this is the first full week of January 2019, we'll be able to start getting some bush hogging and some work done out there. The next phase, the next thing that we're in also right now is the design. So we had to find a floor plan that we were happy with, and we did find one, and we gave it back to a designer who's drawn it up for us in blueprint form back in October of last year. Well, Unfortunately, when you try to save a little bit of money, sometimes you kind of get what you pay for. The design and the plans are coming along well, but they're coming along relatively slow. He's had them since October and he's not done with them yet. We're hoping that he's done with them next week so we can start getting some takeoffs for the material cost. It's kind of hard to really do a good budget when I don't have the plans, because the first thing I've learned that most supply houses and even when you go to doors and flooring and everything else, they ask you, what are your blueprints? Let me look at them so they can kind of do their own takeoffs. So we're kind of in a holding pattern there, and we've been communicating with him. He communicates well. He's just kind of slow. The other thing that we're in the process is moving out of our house. So we were able to sell our house relatively quickly and relatively easily. So we got our house sold and we're in the process of moving out. We have some time. We've been packing for about a month and here and there, but in January we decided we'd go ahead and start pushing everything out into a storage unit, and we're going to do that this weekend and probably next weekend, and get to a point to where when the house closes, we're thinking probably in the middle of February, we'll be able to get out with little or no work. And then we have a place we're going to stay in, and in subsequent videos I'll kind of walk you through how we sold our house and made a little bit of extra money on it that we weren't expecting, and where we're going to stay at during the construction of the house. And then we'll just walk through every phase of this thing from once we get the plans to the takeoffs, the materials, and everything that we decide to do. I can tell you this right now, if you're out there and you're in the process of thinking about subcontracting the construction of your own home, I'll tell you this: plan, 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 and then when you have nothing else to do, plan some more. I'll make sure I'll kind of let you know things that we've learned thus far, even without our blueprints, things that we need to really try to make sure that we plan for during the construction of the home. So again, this video series really is dedicated to the construction of your house if you're subcontracting it out. I'll post the videos as frequently as I can. I'll try to do one once a week. I can't really commit to that just yet, but hopefully I'll get one out at least once every 2 weeks to make sure that I'm keeping everyone kind of abreast. Right now, I know the first things I do want to talk about in my next video, we'll talk about the sale of our current home, as well as where we're staying at during the construction phase, and kind of the things we planned up through this point. The next big hurdle for us is financing. So we haven't financed the construction loan yet, or got the construction loan yet. We're kind of waiting on that. And the reason why is we want to wait until the sale of our house is complete. And I'll kind of tell you why in some additional videos. So again, I hope you find this helpful and useful, and see you next time. Thanks.